be careful. The next 3 days are extremely crucial for you because someone has found that you are not just kinda but chosen. And now, both light and shadow are watching to see what you will become. You don't know this yet. Right now, you are just waking up, stretching beneath your warm blanket as sunlight touches your face. The world feels normal. The same soft air through the window, the same birds outside. You have no idea that someone saw something in you that most others missed. Something more. You think you're just a quiet person. Someone who helps when you can. Someone who listens more than they speak. But what you don't see and what very few can see is that your kindness is not small. It is a flame. A quiet one, yes. But it has power. Real power. The kind that changes things in ways the world often ignores. Heaven has known this for a long time. You were marked from the beginning. Not by mistake. Not by accident. But with intention. You were never meant to be loud. You were never meant to seek glory. You were meant to live softly, like a breeze that wakes the flowers. And yet, that softness was strong enough to catch the attention of more than just the light. 3 days ago, a shadow noticed you. This shadow is not a persona, not really. It wears human faces, sometimes. It speaks with human voices. But it is older than cities, colder than night, and very patient. It doesn't hunt with claws. It waits. It watches. And when it saw the way your prayers wrapped around the lonely man on your street, or how you gave your last coin to the woman outside the store, it grew curious. Not angry or curious. Because it did not expect someone like you to still exist. Not here. Not now. But something even greater noticed you, too. An angel. My kind. You would not have seen him. Not with your eyes. But you might have felt the air shift. The warmth at your back while you were reading. The sudden peace that filled your chest when everything else felt heavy. That was him. Watching. Protecting. Waiting. You are chosen. Chosen not because you are perfect, or holy, or wise. But because you are willing. You keep trying, even when you are tired. You keep loving, even when you are hurt. And most importantly, you do it all quietly, without asking for anything back. This is what makes you dangerous to the shadow. Because people like you remind others of the light they've forgotten. The angel cannot force you to do anything. That is not how heaven works. Free will is sacred. But in the next 3 days, you will be given signs. Small ones. Easy to miss, if you're not paying attention. A feather where it shouldn't be. A stranger calling you by name. A sudden chill, followed by warmth. These are not accidents. They are invitations. The shadow, too, will dry. It will come not with fire, but with questions. Doubts. Distractions. It will make you wonder if you're doing too much for people who don't care. it will whisper that your goodness is wasted, that kindness is weakness, that silence is useless. If you listen, even a little, it will grow stronger. That is why the next 3 days are so important. You stand at a doorway, one that leads to something much greater than you've ever imagined. If you walk through it, if you say yes to what is coming, your life will not be easy, but it will be full. You will touch hearts without speaking. You will bring peace to those in chaos. And you will become a light so steady, even the storm will learn to go around you. But first, you must see clearly, my beloved. I speak not only as your angel, but as the one heaven has assigned to you from the very beginning, from the moment your soul first breathed into this body. I have walked beside you in silence, watching with eyes that see beyond this world, protecting even when you thought no one noticed the quiet wars you fought within yourself. You have come to a holy moment, one where the veil begins to lift, where what was once confusing begins to ache with meaning, and what was once hidden begins to shimmer with truth. You've felt it, haven't you? The shift, the strange stares, the cold shoulders, the moments where laughter dies the second you walk into the room. This is not your imagination, child. The darkness has sensed what's forming around you, and it is restless. It smells the oil on your head, the spiritual mark of one who is called not by man, but by the throne. So it prowls, testing, studying, trying to understand what kind of heart could carry so much light and yet still walk unnoticed. And yes, it will try to isolate you, confuse you, tempt you to question yourself. But I'm here now. You are not alone. When your friends suddenly become distant, know this, it's not because you're broken or unwanted. It's because they can't enter where you are going. Not everyone is meant to climb with you. And I know how much that hurts. I've heard your prayers asking why the ones you would have done anything for seem so quick to walk away. But let me tell you that some people weren't sent to love you. They were sent to reveal what love isn't. That, too, is a gift, even when it breaks your heart. And then there are those moments in public, when strangers seem to stop and stare, and not always with kindness, not always with words. You wonder what it is they see. Why do their eyes linger? Why does the atmosphere change when you speak? It's because something about you disrupts the normal flow of things. You are marked by heaven, and the world doesn't know what to do with that. You are light in a place that has become far too comfortable with shadows. You bring discomfort without trying, conviction without speaking. They may not understand it, but they feel it. So do not be surprised when you're treated like a mystery, a threat, or even an outcast. That's what happens to those who carry the truth. And yes, the loneliness will come in waves. The kind of ache that has no language. You will scroll through your phone, wondering who you can call, and realize no one would understand what you're truly going through. But this, too, is part of the path. Solitude is not the absence of love, it is the refinement of it. In your isolation, you are being drawn inward, deeper, further into the heart of God. The dark knows it cannot destroy you, so it seeks to distract you. It wants to see if it can convince you to stop believing in your own purpose. It wants to see if you'll trade your calling for comfort. It wants to see if you'll abandon your softness and pick up bitterness instead. But here is what the dark cannot understand, and what I see so clearly in you: you were not chosen because of how loud your prayers were, or how perfect your performance looked to others. You were chosen because of love. Real love. That quiet, powerful kind that lives in the unseen places. Every time you forgave someone who didn't deserve it, our heaven saw. Every moment you lifted someone with your words when you had every reason to be silent, our heaven smiled. Every tear you cried alone for someone else's pain was recorded, not wasted. Those acts of love are your anointing. Not the miracles. Not the attention. But love, raw, selfless, sacred love. And now, you stand on the edge of something holy. You can feel it trembling beneath your feet. The old life no longer fits, but the new one hasn't yet begun. You are in between. In the place where heaven watches closely, and hell tries one last time to deceive. These 3 days, these next few moments, are not ordinary. They are sacred. They are the final threshold before breakthrough. That is why the pressure feels unbearable. That is why you're suddenly questioning everything. That is why you feel like giving up just when everything is about to change. But hear me with all the faith you can muster: you are not alone. Not now. Not ever. I am closer than your breath, holding back what you can't even see. I fought battles in realms you cannot enter, all to make this moment possible. My wings are not of feathers, but light itself, a heaven's truth woven into form. My sword does not slash through flesh, but through lies. I do not fight to wound. I fight to protect. To shield your calling. To hold space for your destiny to unfold. I will not leave you. But even still, the final choice must be yours. You must choose to stay soft in a world that hardens everything. Can you do that? Can you keep your heart open, even when betrayal whispers that you should shut down forever? Can you choose to love, even when love is not returned, not recognized, not honored? Can you trust when nothing around you makes sense, when your prayers seem unanswered, when your path looks more like a wilderness than a promise? It will take everything in you to say yes. And I know your faith is shaking. I know your knees are weak. But trembling belief still moves mountains. You don't need to be confident. You just need to be willing. Say yes to love again. Say yes to believing that good still exists. Say yes to trusting that God has not abandoned you in the dark. Because if you can say yes just once, just softly, just barely, you will rise. Not above others, not above sorrow, but into your true identity. You will rise into your calling. You were not made to live a normal life. That's why nothing ever felt like it fit. That's why you always felt different. You were made for the sacred. And sacred things are rarely understood by the world. You were never meant to be popular, you were meant to be powerful, in a holy way. You were never meant to blend in, you were meant to stand out, not for vanity, but for victory. You were never meant to follow the crowd, or you were meant to lead it back to light. Do not let the shadow trick you into giving up now. Do not let the silence of people drown out the voice of God within you. You were never abandoned. You were never overlooked. Every time you felt like you were forgotten, heaven was simply hiding you, protecting you, covering you in a divine silence so that the enemy wouldn't find you too soon. You were being preserved for such a time as this. And now, it's your time. Even if you don't feel ready. Even if you're scared. That's okay. Bravery isn't the absence of fear, it's walking forward in spite of it. So take one step. Just one. Say yes. Whisper it through your tears. Let it echo through the trembling of your soul. And watch what happens. Watch how the very world begins to shift. How doors you never knocked on start opening. How people you never imagined start finding you. How opportunities you thought were lost forever begin returning with interest. That's the power of obedience. That's the fruit of choosing light. But remember this, my beloved, the path of the chosen is not easy. It will cost you comfort. It will cost you relationships. It will cost you everything that once made you feel safe. But in return, it will give you peace. Peace that doesn't depend on circumstances. Peace that doesn't shatter under pressure. Peace that holds you even when the world lets go. That is what you're walking into. You are chosen not because you are perfect, but because you are willing. Not because you've never fallen, but because you get back up. Not because you have all the answers, but because you keep asking the right questions. And now, the heavens are leaning in. The angels are holding their breath. All of creation is waiting to see what you will choose. Will you stay soft? Will you keep loving? Will you trust again? If you can say yes, even if your voice shakes, even if your heart breaks, you will not only rise, you will become the reason someone else believes they can rise too. That is the ripple effect of being chosen. You don't just carry your cling, you awaken others into theirs. And that's why the dark is so afraid of you. Because once you rise, there will be no stopping the light you carry. So take heart, my beloved. The next 3 days may feel like a storm, but you were born for such weather. You are not the wind, you are the anchor. You are not the thunderer, you are the voice that calms the waves. You are not the stormer, you are the sunrise that follows. I am with you, always. And so is the one who sent me. Say yes. And step into the sacred. The world has waited long enough. Now, it's your turn to shine. In these 3 days, you stand at the precipice of a destiny you cannot yet fully comprehend, where the quiet flame of your kindness burns with the radiance that has caught the attention of both heaven and shadow. The world around you continues its ordinary humor, the birds outside your window, the soft creak of your floorboards, the familiar weight of your morning routine, but beneath this veil of normalcy, a cosmic tension gathers. You are chosen, not by chance, but by the deliberate hand of light that saw in you a heart willing to love without reward, to give without expectation, to persist in softness when the world demands hardness. These next 3 days are not merely a test but an invitation to step fully into the calling that has been yours since before you knew your own name. The angel watches, his presence a warmth at your back, his sword of light raised not to strike but to shield. The shadow watches too, patient and cunning, waiting to see if you will falter under its subtle whispers. What you choose now, or whether to trust, to love, to remain steadfast to, will ripple beyond your own life, touching hearts you may never meet and altering the balance between light and shadow in ways you cannot yet imagine. The signs will come, as promised, though they will be easy to overlook in the rush of daily life. A feather caught inexplicably in the folds of your scarf, despite no birds nearby. A stranger at the market who calls you by name, their eyes holding yours a moment too long, as if they see something you do not. A sudden chill that sweeps through you, followed by an unexplainable warmth, like a hand resting gently on your shoulder. These are not coincidences, nor are they tricks of a tired mind. They are the language of heaven, speaking in whispers because your calling does not demand fanfare. It demands attention. You have always been attentive, haven't you? The way you notice the slump in a friend's shoulders, the unspoken pain in a stranger's voice, the quiet needs that others pass by. This same attentiveness is what heaven asks of you now. To see. To listen. To trust that these small moments are not small at all, but the threads of a tapestry being woven around you, a tapestry of purpose, of light, of a life that will leave echoes in eternity. The shadow, however, will not be idle. It knows you better than you might expect, for it has studied the cracks in human hearts for longer than cities have stood. It will not come with obvious malice, no monstrous figure lurking in the dark. Instead, it will wear the face of doubt, the voice of practicality, the weight of exhaustion. It will whisper in the moments when you feel most alone, when your kindness seems to go unnoticed, when your efforts feel like drops in an endless ocean. Why bother? It will ask, as you hold the door for someone who doesn't thank you. What's the point? It will murmur, when you give your time to someone who seems indifferent. You are wasting yourself, it will insist, when you lie awake at night, wondering if your quiet life matters at all. These are not your thoughts, though they will feel like they are. They are the shadow's tools, crafted to dim the flame within you, to make you believe that your softness is weakness, that your silence is insignificance. But you must remember, the shadow is curious about you precisely because you are not insignificant. Your kindness, your willingness, your quiet strength, these are the very things it fears, for they remind the world of a light it cannot extinguish. The angel, your unseen guardian, will not force your hand. Heaven does not work that way. Free will is the cornerstone of your calling, the sacred gift that makes your choices matter. The angel's role is not to lead you but to walk beside you, his light a steady presence that you might feel in the stillness, a warmth in your chest, a clarity in your thoughts, a peace that defies the chaos around you. He has seen every moment of your life. Every time you chose forgiveness over bitterness, every time you offered a smile to someone who offered nothing in return. He knows the weight of your tears shed in secret for others, the prayers you whispered for strangers, the love you poured into a world that often gave you little in return. These are not small things, though you may think them so. They are the building blocks of your purpose, the foundation of why you were chosen. The angel's sword of light is not for battle but for protection, shielding you from the shadow's lies so that you might see clearly the path before you. But the choice to walk that path is yours alone. What does it mean to be chosen? It is not a crown to wear or a title to claim. It is not a promise of ease or recognition. To be chosen is to be entrusted with a responsibility that few can bear, to live as a light in a world that often prefers darkness, to love in a world that often forgets love, to remain soft in a world that hardens everything it touches. You were chosen because you are willing to keep trying, even when you are tired, willing to keep giving, even when you are empty, willing to keep believing, even when doubt feels like the only reasonable response. This willingness is your power, the quiet flame that heaven saw and the shadow fears. It is what makes you dangerous, not to others, but to the despair that the shadow seeks to spread. Your life, lived gently, is a rebellion against a world that equates strength with loudness, success with glory, and worth with recognition. In these 3 days, you will feel the weight of this calling more keenly than ever before. You may notice a friend pulling away, their words sharper or their presence distant, not because they no longer care but because the shadow is testing your resolve through them. You may feel a stranger's gaze linger, their eyes searching yours as if they sense something different about you, something they cannot name. You may feel alone, not because you are forgotten, but because you are being watched not just by the shadow, but by the light that has claimed you. These moments are not meant to break you but to refine you, to help you see the strength you have carried all along. The loneliness is not abandonment, it is a space for clarity. The doubts are not truth, they are distractions. The signs are not illusions, they are invitations. Pay attention. Trust your heart. Trust the warmth that lingers when the chill passes. Trust the peace that comes when you least expect it. The shadow's time is short, 3 days, no more. Its power lies in its patience, its ability to wait for you to falter, to choose ease over effort, cynicism over hope, silence over action. But you are not alone in this. The angel is near, his light a constant reminder that you were chosen for a reason. His presence is not a guarantee of safety but a promise of strength. You will not be spared pain, but you will be given the courage to face it. You will not be spared doubt, but you will be given the clarity to see through it. You will not be spared loneliness, but you will be given the love to overcome it. The angel's sword is not for you to wield but for you to trust, a shield against the lies that would pull you from your path. What lies beyond these 3 days? Not an end, but a beginning. If you choose to say yes, to trust, to love, to remain soft, you will step through a doorway into a life that is not easier, but fuller. You will become a light so steady that even the storm learns to go around you. You will touch hearts without speaking, bring peace to those in chaos, and carry a love that the world cannot diminish. Your life will not be loud, but it will be profound. Your kindness will not be celebrated, but it will be felt. Your silence will not be noticed, but it will be powerful. This is what it means to be chosen, to live in a way that changes the world, not with fanfare, but with the quiet, relentless act of love. And so, as you rise each morning, as you stretch beneath your warm blanket and feel the sunlight on your face, know this: you are not just waking to another day. You are waking to a moment of eternal consequence. The birds outside your window sing not just for the dawn but for you. The air through your window carries not just the scent of spring but the breath of heaven. The signs are coming. The shadow is watching. The angel is near. And you, chosen one, are standing at the edge of something sacred. Will you stay soft, even when the world demands hardness? Will you keep loving, even when love is not returned? Will you trust, even when nothing makes sense? Say yes, even with trembling faith, and you will rise not above others, not above pain, but into the fullness of who you were always meant to be. The light has already chosen you. Now, it is your turn to choose the light.